friends. Happy Holy Week to you guys. We are kicking off this week and we are heading into Resurrection Sunday. I'll be posting a video on Friday with reflecting about Good Friday as well. And many of you probably celebrated Palm Sunday yesterday at church, which signifies when Jesus rode into Jerusalem a week before his crucifixion, and the people raised palm branches to him, hailing him as their king. So all of this is happening this week. There's a lot going on, and I thought, it's kind of a weird video to do, but today I decided to reset my whole house. And so you'll be seeing footage of that while I'm talking, of me cleaning up and just getting our house ready. We're going to be hosting a bunch of people on Sunday, and I needed a reset because we had spring break last week and our kids were home all week. And here in our city, we had the worst weather. It was pouring rain. Talk about a terrible spring break. We had one sunny day where we took the kids to the zoo. So needless to say, my house was kind of a wreck. They had I just kind of let it go. It was spring break. I wanted my kids to have fun and relax. And I also don't clean on Sundays. So since it's Monday, I always use Monday as a reset for my house. And I wanted to walk you guys through the process and just talk a little bit about how I reset. The first step in a messy home cleaning is to get yourself some food. So that's one thing I make sure to just start with. Some women may need a coffee. I don't do caffeine. Sometimes I do like a hot herbal tea in the morning, or just water. I just love water. So here I'm just making some breakfast for me and my children and getting us ready to go, especially because I know that will be messy. There's no use cleaning up before that. The next step is to just kind of survey the rooms and do kind of a general pickup. So I just try and kind of put things in piles and run things to where they belong. It is a lot of physical activity, I'm not gonna lie. Especially our house is a split level. I don't even have a full second floor, but when I see things, I try and run and put them away where they belong. Or sometimes if I have a lot of stuff that needs to go upstairs, I'll put it all in a pile and try and take it all at once, or get a big bag to put it in. So that's what you'll see me doing here, is just kind of making piles, surveying the damage. My first step is to always eliminate trash. So I walk around with a trash bag. Often my kids like to draw little pictures and there's paper everywhere, and sometimes from church, Sunday school, they've brought in little, drawings and assignments. And so I trash all of that first thing. And, or I should say recycle. If it's paper, I recycle it. And I get that cleared out of the way. Another thing I like to do is to make big piles of laundry. So I just my kids have this terrible habit of leaving clothes all around the home, little socks here, or this or that. So I just start kind of piling it all in one big pile to start the laundry going while I'm cleaning throughout the day. And I work on having them help me put it away at the end of the day. The next thing I do is as I go to each room, I pick up a little bit in each room. I don't just stay in one room. But I have created this new philosophy where I never leave a room empty-handed. So if I walk up to my front room to put something away, when I leave that room, I'm looking around and seeing, okay, what can I take with me now that needs to go to its proper place? If I run up the stairs to put something away, I try and grab as much in my hands as I can. And then when I'm coming back downstairs, if I saw something in a bedroom or the bathroom that's not where it's supposed to be, I bring it with me. So it's become this new philosophy is never have empty hands. And sometimes, not gonna lie, those hands are just filled with the baby, and that's okay. What you don't see in this video is there's lots of frequent breaks that had to happen where I just need to snuggle with him, or he just needed some care, or I had to stop and feed him, just some different things, but that's okay. That's part of the day and being a mom. Area that desperately needed decluttering was the basement. And I've known for a while, well, let's just say since Christmas, right? There was an influx of toys at Christmas time, and I carefully thought through those toys, but still I'm feeling the burden of many of them recently. And I decided to go downstairs today when it was just my youngest home, because she's not going to be too picky. And I kind of gathered what mess they had left in a large pile, and then I started putting it away. And this gives me a lot of perspective, because as I'm going through the pile, if there are things like trash, I keep a trash bag nearby, immediately trash it. That's where you'll see the Target bag in the footage. The other thing is I can tell when there's certain toys that are not being taken not taken care of. There was a few broken pieces in this pile, some dollhouse furniture that had got broken, so I immediately threw those away. If it looks like something that they may have played with it this week, but it's something that is no longer important, or I just don't have the bandwidth to maintain it or put it away, or I don't feel like it's worth it, I am immediately moving it to the left to donate, as long as it's in good condition. So one of those examples is poppets. For a while, my kids were into these poppets. I had included them as like a stocking stuffer at Christmas. And would they still play with them? Probably, but do they have other toys that could serve a similar distraction purpose? Yes. So I'm moving those along. No need to keep them around. It's just extra stuff. Other thing that I have to weigh with the toys I chose this year is my daughters are really into tiny things. And I will say, as a person who likes a clean space, those can drive you nuts. They love dollhouse furniture. They love all the tiny little cooking pieces. They love, they've got Peppa Pig little pieces. So there's lots of tiny things. And I'm okay with that as long as they're being used and they have a space that is designated for them. So in the basement, every bucket has a label, and I have drawn pictures on the labels for my kids that can't read to know where to put things. And my daughters need to put them away. Now today I gave my kids a pass. Again, it was spring break. Yesterday was Sunday. We had a busy day. So I'm down here cleaning all this up, and it helps me take inventory of what we have and declutter it. So normally I would be down there with my daughter saying, hey, let's put the pieces in this bucket. But it does help. It's called, I think it's Dana from A Slob Comes Clean channel. She talks about the container theory, and I found that so helpful from her decluttering channel, is the idea of choose a container, that is your limit, and anything above and beyond that container has to go. And so I have my kids' toys in categories, but when I see that those containers are getting too full, then I know it's time to let it go. For example, as I was decluttering, they had a stuffed animals container down there. Well, it's getting pretty full because my daughter has a large Minnie Mouse that she loves that is now taking up a lot of that bucket. And you know, there's a few other small ones. So I decided to pull some out to declutter today, just to make sure that the container is the limit. And you never want to overstuff either, because think about us as adults. When we have overstuffed drawers or cabinets or dressers, we don't like to put things in. We often will then find ourselves putting our clothes away on top of the dresser or leaving stuff out, because we don't like opening a stuffed drawer and trying to stuff one more thing in it. So when I say container theory, it really is best to have things a little below the container level so that when you're putting it away, it's done with ease. Some people may also ask why I don't sell some of the items I'm trying to declutter, why not wait and list them for sale, especially with us on our debt-free journey. If there's really big items, maybe. I've said before in videos where I'll post them maybe for a week or so. I'll give myself a time limit. If by then it hasn't sold, then I'll declutter it. But more often than not lately, I find it is just not worth my time. I'm in a season of life where I just don't have the bandwidth to do that. And I have absolutely accepted the fact that it is okay to donate perfectly good items. In fact, it is a blessing to someone else. Imagine the person that's walking through a thrift store and finds an item in really good condition that's probably worth something and that they're gonna enjoy, and you've now blessed them with that. And that's okay. You don't have to make money off of everything that leaves your home. Sometimes you just need to let it go, accept that it doesn't work for you anymore, and move on. And so I constantly keep that in mind as I'm walking around the home, as I'm decluttering. And I know it hurts sometimes because it's things we spent money on and it feels painful. And we question ourselves and we are like, why? I spent money on this. But if it's taking away from your life right now, if it's adding to your stress, if it's making you have to pick it up 3 times a day, you've got to decide your limits in your season of life right now. And it's different for everybody. I'm a mom of 4 kids. I have kind of a low threshold right now. What I could manage in a time of life if I was single is very different now as a mom of 4 kids. And so I keep that in mind as I think about, should I let this go? Absolutely, let it go. That's my philosophy here. So you'll see me doing that. And I use my Monday resets of my home to evaluate and think through every item in my house. I have to decide if that thing is worth picking up. If it's gonna take time out of my life every Monday to pick it up, is it worth keeping? And if the answer is yes, then great. I need to make sure it has a good space, a space where it belongs and where I know it can put it away. Where you run into trouble is the things you don't have a space for. And I am a huge fan of labeling things. And once you figure out where your space is for that thing, label it. I feel like this was just a beautiful reset of my home. And the thing is, with all of my struggles lately from discontentment and looking around at the things we have and not thinking they're good enough, the best solution I've found is to take care of those things, to spend time cleaning your home. It's amazing how when you actually clean it up and you spend time having to take care of it, you're less likely to want to go out and buy more to stuff inside of it, especially if you've had to spend hours picking it up. There's no way to teach us how much we truly do have like a good full house clean. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching through this, and I am hoping that you all have a wonderful, wonderful week this week. I will be back on Wednesday with a really awesome devotional about the Lamb of God and how it relates to Easter coming up, and I'm gonna see you next time. So thank you all for tuning in. I'm Morgan on Life and Lilacs. Bye everyone.